Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn the first Mishna Masechta Shabbos, which is on Daf Beis Amud Aleph. Let's begin by looking at the general outline of this class. So the Mishna will teach the dinim of carrying on Shabbos from and to a Rosh Hashanah and Rosh Hashanah. We're going to learn about transferring an object from the Rosh Hashanah to the Rosh Hashanah, or from the Rosh Hashanah to the Rosh Hashanah. So let's see the Mishna now in the flowchart form. So being that it's just the Mishnah, which is the teaching, so it comes out that the whole class will just be in a blue square indicating that it's all a teaching. So the Mishnah begins and says, Yitzias HaShabbos, transferring on Shabbos from one Rishus to another, Ishtayim Shein Arba Befnim, is divided into two cases that are for the person standing Befnim, in the inside in Rishus HaYachid, Ishtayim Shein Arba Bachutz, two cases that are for the person standing Bachutz in the outside in Rishus HaRabim. So the Mishnah begins by telling us that the way the cases are structured is there's a total of 8 cases, and it's 2 cases that are for the person on the inside, and 2 cases that are for the person standing on the outside. And when we say 2 that are for, it means there are 2 minatera, and there's a total of 4 because there's another 2 midrabanan. The Mishnah now goes ahead and describes all of these cases. The Mishnah says, Ketzad, how is this? How do these cases play themselves out? Ha'ani oimed b'chutz, balabayas oimed b'fnim. The poor man is standing on the outside in the Rishus HaRabim, and the balabayas, or the usher, the rich man, is standing inside in the Rishus HaYachid. And now the Mishnah is going to go ahead and describe all these cases. The way it's organized is, first we're going to present the cases that are minatera for the ani and balabayas, and then we're going to move on to the cases which are midrabanan. So the first case of the Mishnah is Pashat ha'ani yasyadi lefnim v'nasam l'seich yadi shel balabayas. If the poor man extended his hand inside and placed something into the rich man's hand, so he did the akira, he brought the item in, and he did the anacha, he put it down. So he did the entire malacha of achnasa. Oi, the second case is shenatam l'teicha v'haitzi. Or if he took something out of the hand of the rich man and carried it out. So once again, he did the akira, he brought out the item, and he put it down. He did the hanacha. So he did the entire malacha, either of hachnasa or heitzah, all parts of it, the akira, the transferring of reshuyas, and the hanacha. The din is ha'ani chayiv ubalabayas potter. The ani is chayiv because he did the entire malacha of heitzah, which is a malacha on Shabbos, and the balabayas is potter, and like Rashi explains, it's potter and mutter. It's permitted since he didn't take part in any of the parts of the malacha, not the akira, not the hanacha, and not the transferring of reshuyas. Then the Mishnah moves on to where the balabayas did the whole malacha, which is the first case is Pashat balabayas es yadi lechutz v'nasan l'seich yadi shel ani. If the rich man extended his hand outside and placed something into the poor man's hand, so he did the akira, he did the heitzah, and he did the anacha. He did the whole malacha of heitzah. Or if he took something out of the hand of the poor man and carried it in, once again he did the akira, he brought it in, and he did the anacha. So in those 2 cases, the balabayas did the entire malacha, either of heitzah, carrying out, or achnasa, carrying in. The din is balabayas chayev v'ani potter. The balabayas is chayev since he did the entire malacha, and the ani is potter and mutter since he didn't take part in any of the parts of the malacha. Now the Mishnah moves on to the cases which are midrabanan. Over here, as opposed to the reisha, where we first put down the cases of the ani, heitzah and achnasa, and then the balabayas, heitzah and achnasa, here the Mishnah is going to present them in a way that they mixes them together, because we're presenting it here according to Rashi. It's going to mix together. First, it's going to present the case of the ani and balabayas, and then another 2 cases, one for the ani and balabayas. So each one now has an additional 2 which are midrabanan. I'm going to point out that these cases are cases where each of them did part of the malacha. And nevertheless, in each case, we only focus on one of them. And Rashi explains that the one we're focusing on is the one that started the malacha, the one that did the akira. The person that put it down also did an isser, but when the Mishnah says there are extra cases that are usser, it's not referring to the one who put it down, it's only referring to the one who started it. And the reason is, although they're both usser, is because we're only looking at the part that the person did that could lead him to doing a complete malacha. And that's only possible for a person that did an akira, he could come to finish it. However, if somebody's doing an hanacha, he can never come to do a whole malacha, because the first part of the malacha was already done by somebody else. So the way it's going to be broken down in the Mishnah is, we're going to present 2 cases where the ani extended his hand inwards, and they each did part of the malacha, and then 2 cases where the balabayas extended his hand outwards, and they each did part of the malacha. So the Mishnah begins and says, if the poor man extended his hand inside, and the rich man took something out of it. So the poor man did the akira, and he brought his hand in, but the balabayas, the rich man, did the hanacha. Or, the second case is going to be, with this case, where the poor man extended his hand in. If the rich man placed something into the poor man's extended hand, and the poor man took it out, so the rich man did the akira, but the poor man brought it out and put it down. Shneim pturim, they are both patur. And when we say they are both patur, in the first case, the focus is on the poor man, because he did the akira and brought it in. And in the second case, it's on the rich man, because he did the akira and put it into the extended hand of the poor man. So although they each did part of it, we're only focusing on the one that did the akira. And the second series of cases is where the rich man is the one that extended his hand outside. If the rich man extended his hand outside and the poor man took something out of it, so the rich man did the akira and he brought it out, and the poor man did the hanacha, or if the poor man put something into the rich man's extended hand and the rich man brought it in, so the poor man did the akira into this extended hand and the rich man brought it in and put it down, once again, shneim pturim, they are both patur. And like we said, in the first case, the one that we're focusing on is the rich man, because he did the akira and put it out, he did the akira part. And in the second case, it's the poor man, because he did the akira and placed it into the extended hand of the rich man. And with this, we have the entire Mishnah. And just to bring a summary of the Mishnah, it comes out that we have for each of them 2 cases that are menatera and 2 midrabanan. The 2 cases that are menatera is if either of them did the entire malacha, either of Heitzah or of Achnasa. And the 2 that are midrabanan is if they did an akira part of the malacha. So if the poor man did the akira and extended his hand inwards, or he just did the akira and placed it into the extended hand of the rich man. And for the rich man, it's if he did the akira and extended his hand outwards, or if he did the akira and placed it into the extended hand of the poor man. And with that, we have the entire Mishnah, which is presenting the 8 cases of Eitzah.